All right, let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. We're looking at a huge revolution in medicine, a way to treat the most complex parts of the human brain without ever making a single cut. Yeah, we're talking about replacing scalpels with sound waves.
So, this gets us to the big question. The one that's kept scientists up at night for decades. How do you possibly fix something deep inside the brain without, well, breaking open the skull? It's this super delicate, complex organ, and for the longest time, doing that kind of repair without major, risky surgery, it just seemed impossible.
Okay, so let's get into it. To really get why this new tech is such a big deal, you gotta understand just how tough it is to treat the brain in the first place.
For a lot of neurological conditions, think Parkinson's or chronic pain or even severe depression, the problem isn't on the surface. The control panel, the source of the issue, is buried deep inside the brain's crazy complex wiring. And getting to those tiny, specific spots, that's the whole ballgame. It's the key to helping people, but it's also the biggest challenge.
So, for years, the best tool we had was something called deep brain stimulation, or DBS. Basically, it's a procedure where surgeons go in and implant these superfine electrodes right into those deep parts of the brain. And then, those electrodes send out little electrical pulses to kind of reboot the faulty wiring.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. As amazing as DBS can be, it means, you guessed it, brain surgery. A really invasive procedure where they have to physically drill into the skull and place those electrodes. It's a huge deal, it comes with risks, and frankly, it's just not an option for a lot of people.
But what if you didn't have to do that? What if there was another way? Well, that simple question has led to a real, honest-to-goodness breakthrough. A way to do all that delicate work, but without any of the surgery.
And this is where everything changes. Meet the ultrasound helmet. Forget scalpels. This thing uses focused sound waves to get to those same deep brain regions. It's totally non-invasive, and it's ushering in a whole new era of super precise treatment. And when I say precise, I mean, wow, look at this number, 1,000 times. That's how much more accurate this device is. It can hit targets in the brain that are 1,000 times smaller than what previous ultrasound technology could even dream of touching. When you're working with the brain, that kind of focus, it changes everything. And it gets even better. If you compare it to other deep brain devices out there, it's still 30 times more accurate. We're talking about a level of pinpoint control that's just completely unheard of until now. Now, I know this sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, but this is the real deal. It has some serious scientific muscle behind it. We're talking teams from Oxford University and University College London. And their work? It was published in Nature Communications, which is a huge stamp of approval in the science world.
So let's break it down. Let's put the old way and the new way right next to each other so you can really see why this is such a game changer. I mean, it's really night and day. On one hand, you've got DBS. That means brain surgery, electrodes inside your head, and electrical pulses. On the other hand, you have this ultrasound helmet. No surgery. It's an external device, and it uses mechanical sound pulses, not electricity. It is a totally different and way safer way of doing things.
The potential here is just massive. The research calls it a breakthrough that could, and I'm quoting here, fundamentally alter how we treat something like Parkinson's. That's not just making something a little better. That's a total rewrite of the playbook.
And listen, it's not just about Parkinson's, not by a long shot, because this tech can target all sorts of different circuits in the brain. It's opening doors, creating this new horizon of hope for so many other conditions.
Just take a look at this list. We're talking about things that affect millions and millions of people. Depression, chronic pain, Tourette's, Alzheimer's, even addiction. The one thing they all have in common is that they start with some kind of faulty wiring in the brain. So imagine being able to safely and precisely retune those circuits, all without surgery. It could unlock treatments that, until now, have just been a dream.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But what's the reality? Where is this technology right now, and what's next?
So here's the deal. Right now, the helmet is in trials. This is a super important step where scientists are making sure it's safe and that it actually works, all in a controlled way. So no, you can't go to your local hospital and get this done just yet, but it is on the path. It's getting there.
And that brings us to a pretty mind-blowing final thought. Think about how far medicine has come, right? From basic surgery to incredible microscopic precision. Well, we might be standing on the edge of the next giant leap forward, healing the brain with invisible forces. Can you imagine a future where treatment for these complex conditions is as simple as putting on a helmet? It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other impossible problems are we just about to solve?